Hi. Oh, wait, let's see.
Yeah.
I think we're live. Yep, we are. Oh my God. One day we're just going to know it. We're starting to wonder.
But you know what? They say like every marriage, like you're supposed to have like these surprises and things. Like I feel like, a little surprise every week is kind of fun.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to it. But here we are, everybody. Hi, it's Fridays with Sue and Steph. And we are excited to be talking to you. Excited might be the wrong word. We're anticipating winter. We are excited to talk to you. I stopped at the wrong moment. We are less excited to talk to you about winter, which is what we're going to talk about. But, there's this frenzy like there was before summer where people were buying pools and trampolines and slip and slides. And like you really actually couldn't find certain things in the store. So we bought a heater, an outdoor heater, like one of those big restaurant ones. I think we've had it maybe now for about 3 weeks. And what we realized is it's great if you're sitting around it.
Yes.
But it doesn't really work for like the whole table. So we went to buy another one and guess what?
Yeah.
Those are gone. So, so now it's, I guess we'll have enough heat for 4 of us and it'll just be what it is. What are you doing, Steph?
Same thing. We've had that heater forever, which we should have bought another one in the beginning of summer because I was saying you could set them up on either side and you have the fire pit. Like you kind of have you need some touch points. But we're fooling ourselves if we think that that's a winter solution in Cleveland. Like I keep saying, like, come on. Like that might buy us a month, maybe. And I don't even know if that's true. But we have a new solution, which I don't think I told you about. So we have a room we never use in our house. It's kind of the room you and I have that dream where you find a new room in your house. We've had this room, okay? And friends of mine have said, you never use that room. It's a 4-season room, which is hard to come by in Cleveland because really like you could argue it's a 1-season room, but it does have its own heat, has its own entrance, and it has windows. So I put an air purifier in there. I think we can open windows. We're going to get some new seating in there. It's probably 11 by 11. So we could probably have a couple or my daughter could have a couple friends. So we're trying to figure out, like, is that a safe place, like to move from the patio to that room so that we can maintain some semblance. Do you want to be our first guinea pigs?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So, just trying to think about what's going to sustain us this winter. And it's funny, Sue's probably going to be like, she has no self-awareness. I don't think I'm a highly anxious person in COVID. Am I?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I will, like, I feel like I have been finding things to do and going outside and all those things and trying to find ways like to preserve my mental health. But the piece, again, I stick by this. You become more of yourself. I always hated winter. That's not a new feeling. And I always feel like, I'm going to feel a little closed in. So throw COVID on top of it. It's not to move me further. I'm like, oh my God, winter's coming. So now I'm like trying very desperately to where am I going to tap into like the social piece and all the pieces that make me nervous about winter to start with. Like, how are we going to survive another winter in Cleveland? So can we find this indoor space that will be preserved?
So
would you go on my porch? Like if I had windows open, an air purifier running.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. But I also want to acknowledge like the fatigue of everything that's going on. So, okay. So this is so exciting. Thanks, Angela. We're going to share what you said. We have a huge basement room with separate entrances and a bathroom that has been used for visitors.
Oh, the bathroom is really key.
That's nice.
Okay.
Well, so in addition to trying to figure out how to make like our outdoor space warm, I also want to this year try to embrace the weather.
Oh,
just like I remember being a kid and longing for the days when we went sledding outside and bundling up and coming in for hot chocolate. It was glorious. It wasn't, I didn't dread it. So I want to try and, I did break an ankle on ice.
Yeah.
So that fear about ice, but I want to try and find hiking boots that have enough tread that makes me feel safe outside. And I have a long down coat and I'm trying to get myself to say, it's the hardest part for me. And maybe this is universal. When it's raining outside, if I'm outside in the rain, I don't care. but
Yeah.
stepping from inside to outside is an insurmountable hurdle. And cold is like that for me also.
Yeah.
Outside and I'm in cold, it's never as bad as I anticipated. But if
Yeah.
I'm inside in heat, nothing about my body wants to go outside. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
I want to shift to a child. I
Well,
want to
and
be
you know what?
a child this winter.
Well, also what you have going for you, as do I, is that you love to hike and you love to walk and you love to be outside. We did last year, friends of ours we hike with, they're like, we are hiking all winter. I'm like, we're in. And so we've done the same thing. So what I do is I have, because we haven't skied in a few years, but I have my ski pants. You should invest in a pair of ski pants, because I put on a pair of leggings, throw the ski pants on, and I forget if it's my brother who said, a lot of people say this, like there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So as long as you are, and same, I've skied in 9-degree weather, 11-degree weather, and not been cold, because I'm moving, I'm appropriately dressed. And then you're of course like stripping things down when you get in the house. But yeah, the hiking boots is such a great investment. Such a great investment.
I'm just trying to think about the joy that kids have going out making a snowman. And I'm going to embrace that. I'm going to find some neighborhood kids and make a snowman this winter, or a snow angel, something fun. Okay, so Molly
wants to like the Pied Piper, Sue, leading people down like on a hike.
I could, but that probably isn't me. But okay, Molly wants to know, what are we hearing from parents who are working at home and teens doing school from home? We both seem to be really distracted. So Molly, you are so not alone in that feeling of distraction. It's impossible. I mean, we are in this for way too long for any of us to not feel distracted right now about work, about schoolwork, about being locked in, and when does this end? So in terms of what suggestions are, yesterday on our Facebook Live, we had people give suggestions of what they were doing to kind of get through this. And the one that stuck with me, I just like this so much. This mom takes a drive with her daughter to nowhere, a drive to nowhere.
I love that.
And the daughter has the power to decide what music they listen to and whether they talk. So it is not a time necessarily for like sharing your deepest, darkest thoughts with your mother or vice versa. It's all the power is on the kid to say, how is this experience going to be? And so some of those types of getaways will re-energize. Like she said, it re-energizes them to do that and to come back and then face the work again. If anybody listening has any suggestions of what they're doing, we'd love to hear it in the comments. Anything you're doing, Steph?
I was just thinking about that. So, yeah, I'd say a lot of walking. I feel like I'm going to be assessed something by the city of Shaker Heights for wearing out the sidewalks. But as far as the kids, yeah, some ice cream runs. We've done little like what my son Ethan called it, like a COVID tax relief. Like we just randomly Venmo'd them money to use for a coffee, to use to go out with a friend, you know what I mean? Like, so he was calling it
kids, just for your kids to have.
Yeah.
I actually, so, people talk about care packages at camp.
Oh yeah.
And I always said to my kids, like, I'm just not that mother. And they always said, that's not an excuse. But I even if I bought all the items and put a box together, I'd never get to the post office. So
that's so funny. That's because you hate the post office though.
Well, I do hate the post office, but it's also just like in a line of things that just don't ever happen.
Yeah.
And so my youngest is in college, and he in fact got COVID. And so
not in a package.
What?
You said he got COVID. I said not in a package that you sent.
No, but I sent him, I went online and I ordered him like a care package. So all the hurdles for me were taken away. It required a credit card, which I was in the position to be able to do, but I sent him a care package. So
did he love it?
What?
Did he love it?
He did love it. Yeah. It had all the stuff that he loves. Yeah.
That's
sour candy, a box of sour candy. Hard not to love that.
You know what we just did? I just did last night. I should have put a picture. I should have asked you this before. Our son who's in college loves chili, and we're actually going to see him later. And so I made a huge vat of chili and then just made them in like serving size containers. I took a picture of them all lined up on the counter last night and I wrote, "Coming your way."
Oh, that's lovely. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I think, there's no time like now to be creative about how we step away. Like, I mean, Molly, I will say to you that I know for me working, I had an hour this morning before I was going somewhere. That hour was probably more productive than my 8 hours yesterday because there was a cutoff point. So for some people that may not work, but for me, like a whole day of just work to get done, but nothing interfering with it, I'm much, much less productive. So maybe setting some times where you actually say, okay, in 2 hours, we're going to do something. And then those 2 hours become so much more focused.
Yeah. So hard. It's so hard. And anyone who's saying they're not distracted, it's kind of like, Sue, there was some line years ago that said there's two types of parents who say parenting is hard and liars. And I always thought, so if people say they're not distracted, not true. It can't be true. It can't be.
I'm going to share this one because it's so excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I loved reading to my kids when they were little, but reading to your high school junior, I want to do that. I think next time my kids are going to come home, I'm going to try and suggest that. Online yoga, just doing what she wants is a good idea. Normally the one who's deciding everything self-appointed, so giving her some control is really helpful right now. And crying episodes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Playing games together, board games, etc. That's excellent. Thank you, Catherine, for sharing.
It's just so hard. It's so, I can't imagine there's distractions, right? So it's really hard. And I keep going back to, I said this maybe on our podcast on something recently, like at the beginning of all of this, we were talking about having right grace and just giving yourself, like allowing yourself some space and time to mess up and just realizing it's so hard. Like it is the time to just be completely imperfect. It's such a good excuse.
And I want to say that I think we have been practicing for this moment for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. we're kind of early adopters, Sue.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next Friday.
Bye-bye.